Let's talk about something more positive. Hang on. Actually, this isn't going to be positive. No. See, that comes back to my favourite joke. My grandfather died in Auschwitz. He fell out of a machine gun tower. Hang on, I'm making a deliberate typo here. This is quite funny. I'll change it. I could just... I saw your soul leave your body then. Yeah.
So juvenile. Approved.
Baywatch is making a comeback. Now, again, this is one of those things that Baywatch worked purely because Pamela Anderson had very large breasts.
I don't think I ever watched one episode of Baywatch.
I think I kind of have, but I mean, ultimately, that is what the series was about. You did not watch it for the story. You didn't watch it for the Hoth. You didn't watch it. You watched it because Pamela Anderson was running towards the camera in slow motion and away from the camera in slow motion, and that was it.
There were a lot of other hot chicks on there that also ran at the camera in slow motion. So give them their due and their talent, both of them.
Yeah, absolutely. Don't get me wrong. I mean, like I say, Erica Eleniak and quite a few other, wonderful ladies were on there. But how is Baywatch going to work in today's society is the problem. Because
I don't think it worked back then.
No, it did, because it
was garbage.
It was garbage, but it was entertainment. It was garbage, but it was entertainment. Nicole Eggert, another very fine example there. But to me, what made me laugh was immediately I thought of sort of, you have this hot blonde running down the beach and you sort of, looking at her backside and going, oh, yeah, not bad. Then it throws the front shot and it sort of starts on her face and goes down to her big bouncing boobs and then just goes down to the package underneath and it's like, ew. Like, sort of like Pamela Anderson with a package. It's just so
you're saying that's today. There's going to be trans Baywatch.
Yeah, exactly. It's going to be that's the thing is you can't say it was like sexploitation, but I mean ultimately it was kind of TV sexploitation. That it was just like I say, you had hot women in bikinis, you had hot guys in bikinis, Billy Warlock and a few others, all just being hot on the beach. That's what sold that program. But we can't do that now because we can't sexualize anyone because that's awful. When you think of, like, say for example, April O'Neil from the Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, when she was first on, she was gorgeous with massive boobs and everything else. Now she's kind of like a short midget 12-year-old girl type thing who's not sexualized in any way, shape or form. And again, there's always been downgrades of these characters that they start
let me be clear here. If they're going to make her 12, we don't want her to be sexualized, just so you know.
I want to say an 18-year-old. I have no interest in seeing this because I think Seth Rogen is completely sold out Ninja Turtles in every way. But it's just with all of these things that, as a teenage kid, you grow up like with Kim Possible, who was like really hot and stuff. But like the more modern stuff is all got to be very don't teach your kids anything about hot women at a young age. And I think Baywatch is going to be the same. That there's going to be no sort of sexuality in it. Is it just going to be literally about lifeguards saving lives on a beach? That sounds boring. They'll all be wearing Victorian clothes, like all covered up,
It'll be Leah Thomas's first starring role, you know it.
It was like, oh my gosh, I think I saw a lady's ankle. It was quite revealing. So
hey, Baywatch 1915. Here we go.
Yeah, that's right.
Just run with the bloomers. It's like Granny from the Looney Tunes. She's running and bobby pins are flying on her back.
I can't give this lady mouth to mouth. She hasn't given consent. Could somebody fetch me a handkerchief and place it firmly over her lips?
I can't give her mouth to mouth. We haven't invented it yet, and everybody has typhoid.
Anonymous, don't suggest things like that because they might go. In fact, chances are there's probably a video out there that's called that. Yeah, at our team meeting a minute ago, we just been told that there's a place that does waste removal, and they're called Love Junk. And I was immediately, my head went, "There's a website called Love Junk." Nah, it's not the kind of thing I'd click on. gonna stay away from that. And so, yeah, Baywatch coming back again is just one of those things. It's not going to work for the modern age. People are too childish now to enjoy that kind of thing.
Well, yeah, I don't know. I just, to me, it's like, oh, we're gonna reboot Baywatch. I'm like going, how much more do you got to scrape the bottom of the barrel for this? You're gonna get that Lorenzo Lamas show where he was on a motorcycle or whatever, Renegade. You're gonna do that next, and nobody gives a shit about. I mean, it's like you're now getting syndicated shows that were on daytime UHF on weekends that nobody, barely anybody saw. I'm like, okay, come on. There's nothing left to reboot, guys. Just stop.
Sorry, I've just got to interject here. We've got a message here from Eggy. Sorry, chaps, just got home from the father-in-law's birthday. 5 hours of watching him chuck wine down his throat and rounding up with 45-minute rundowns of his favourite Monty Python sketches. That actually sounds quite good. That's something we should do. we should do a rundown of our favourite Monty Python sketches. But yes, unfortunately, Eggy won't be with us because A, I imagine he's partly drunk, and B, a little bit Monty Pythoned out, which is a serious complaint here in Britain and happens to a lot of middle-aged men, and we shouldn't joke about it.
Not the drunk part, the Monty Python part.
No, yes. Being over Monty Python is a serious condition, unfortunately, like I say, which is suffered by many Englishmen.
All right. That's enough comments. These got too silly.
They should reboot Airwolf. Yeah, but with a drone, not a helicopter.
Airwolf. I absolutely adored Airwolf. I actually watched a little bit of it. It's not bad. But it still works to a certain extent. My claim to fame was when I had a BMX. I had a black and yellow BMX, and my dad used to do printing, and he used to have but this is way before the days of computers and stuff like that. He had like a typeset thing where you could peel off letters and stick them on stuff, and my bike was called Street Hawk. It was like written on the bar. Shut up! Shut! They're going to reboot that now. What'd you say that for? It's in the algorithm, you piece of shit. We're going to have a reboot of Street Hawk.
That always makes me think of, in The Simpsons, Night Boat, the crime-solving boat. Why is there always an inlet or a valley or
a canal? Or a fjord.
Yeah. But my BMX was called Street Hawk. I was quite proud of the fact it had just written in like, it was like an Arial font, just written on the frame, Street Hawk. And everybody knew it was mine. Yeah,
it's funny is that there's so many of these they have rebooted. And like, I think they rebooted Knight Rider a while back.
Tried to.
Yeah, that didn't work. They rebooted V, the
oh yeah,
alien
no,
movie. That didn't work. So I mean, like, yeah, now they're going to reboot the reboots.
Well, the thing is every now and then a reboot does work. When you think of like The Mummy, I mean, there was obviously the original with Boris Karloff and Christopher Lee and so forth in the original. Then they did reboot it in 1999 with Brendan Fraser and stuff. That worked, and it was fun, and so now and then a reboot does just hit the thing.
They gave it a good 70 years. They didn't reboot something that came out last week.
That made me laugh because they did say the other day that they wanted to do a live action version of Moana, and you're thinking that's like 10 years old. Why?
I don't think it's even that old.
Yeah, it's like when did that happen? I'll tell you one other thing.
2017, I think. 2016. It's barely 7 years old.
Forever Night. I don't know that one.
I think it's a vampire detective.
Oh, you have me a vampire.
I love the cocaine-fueled concepts of syndicated shows back then. It was so awesome. Okay,
I said that.
Vampire Detective. Awesome.
No, you see, you've never seen the sketch by Alan Partridge where he's coming up with pitches to the BBC. I posted it on a video I did a review of something this week and I posted it up there. And there's a bit where he's going, how about inner city sumo? We get fat guys in a pub car park and we draw a circle, we make them fight. And then he's going, no, I'm not interested in that. And then his last one, Alan sat there and he just goes, how about monkey tennis? And it's just kind of like, you've run out of ideas, haven't you? No, I've got plenty more.
It's like South Park with the manatees. The manatees take a random words and they put them together, and that's how you have a show pitch. Thank you for watching this excerpt from Outpost Frequencies. Tune in live every Sunday at noon Central Time or 6 o'clock UK time. And also, remember to come to lastmovieoutpost.com for all your latest in movie news, streaming news, and everything cool about film. We are the cool news now. Thank you for watching, and we'll see you on the next stream.